Regis Prograis. He just put on what many would call a lackluster to an okay performance against Jojo Diaz. Regis Prograis, I think his last fight was okay, didn't look too good. And in this fight, he was hurt against Jojo Diaz. Just in the first round, though. Other people under the impression that Regis was hurt the entire fight. It's not true. It's just Regis' balance is always just weird. But with that being said, many believe Regis Prograis' best years at 140 pounds is behind him. So when we look at the landscape of the junior welterweight division, you have some killers up there, and you have some really crafty boxers up there as well. So how does Regis Prograis, who was once the man, one of the top dogs at 140 pounds, how does he fare against these other guys? So let's talk about these guys at 140 that he's never fought, that is the top dudes at the division. So as far as the champions, Teofimo Lopez, he's one of the champions at 140. I don't think he beats Teofimo. Maybe the older Regis probably would have had a good, gave Teo a good run for his money, but Regis is much too slow. It seems like his reflexes are kind of like slipping. He would catch Teo with some good shots though, but Regis is tough. But so I still don't. I got Teo outpointing him, countering him all night. So I don't think he knocks out Regis though. I don't think Teo's power is there anymore. So I think Teo beats him by decision. Richardson Hitchins, excellent fighter. The dude is the goods. Say what you want about his personality, but the dude he can fight, man. Richardson Hitchins can fight. He's like almost like almost a master boxer, a very good boxer. People put him in the same genre, same realm as Devin Haney. You can argue that. How does he do against Regis? I think him too. He definitely outboxes. I think it's gonna be worse with Regis Richardson Hitchins. I think Richardson Hitchins possibly could stop Regis. Definitely can drop him. And he'll just jab him all night up. He'll tear him up. He'll piece him up with that jab. His jab. Richardson Hitchins has one of the best jabs in the sport. He definitely can hurt Regis as well, I believe, and I got Regis losing to Richardson Hitchins by a unanimous decision as well. Moving on to Subriel Matias. And now we getting into the punchers now. You know what I mean? There's two boxers. You can put Teofimo Lopez as a boxer now. I don't think he's a puncher at 140. He's a puncher. You can even argue maybe a boxer puncher. But I think at this division, Teo is he's a boxer, man. He couldn't even knock out Arnold Barboza. So right there, he hasn't really gotten any stoppages, and he struggled in his first fight at 140 to get that stoppage against that guy. I can't remember his name. Pedro Campa. I think that was his name, right? Yeah. But yeah, now the punchers. Subriel Matias. Yeah. Regis is not really a boxer, man. So that fight would not end well for Regis Prograis. Subriel would just keep coming forward. Regis he has power, so he has the puncher's chance to hurt. I think he can hurt Subriel because Subriel was hurt against Puello, right? A guy that's not known to be a heavy puncher. So I think, Subriel has poor defense, man. He has one gear. Come forward, occasionally throw the high guard up and block some punches and just keep punching you up, man, and breaking you down till you quit. That's pretty much his whole thing. Regis, he has good head movement still, but I think his reflexes, his timing is slipping a little bit. So that would probably be a close and personal fight. He probably would try to bang it out with Subriel, and that leaves the potential for Regis to potentially hurt Subriel. You know, I know people don't believe that, but that's a real thing there. It's a possibility. But I think the punch volume of Subriel will probably overwhelm Regis. And they probably would end up stopping that fight. I think he would probably stop Regis, man. I think Regis could hurt him and potentially stop Subriel Matias, but I think before we see that happening, I would pick Subriel to stop Regis. Then you got Gary Antuanne Russell. It's a wonder why he's never fought Gary Antuanne Russell. He's been, when he was champion, they could have fought. They never fought, you know. But Gary Antuanne, he can box too. He's a boxer puncher, and same thing with Gary Antuanne, man. I think Gary Antuanne Russell breaks Regis down too. Probably stops Regis earlier than Subriel would, because Gary Antuanne is much more technical than Subriel Matias, man. Big dude. So I don't think Regis Prograis beats any of the current champions at 140 right now at all. I think he gets stopped by two of them and outboxed by the other two. As far as some of the other dudes in the division, like, you know, Frank Martin, he's just getting up in the division. That's a good fight. I think that'll be a good fight. They might fight that one out to a draw. I think Regis will give Frank Martin some good work. He could possibly hurt Frank Martin. We don't even know how Frank Martin's punch resistance is after the Tank fight. That's another thing. So that'll be something to see. But I see that being a really good banging ass fight. And with potential issues, potentially I see Regis probably hurting Frank Martin in that fight. That's a winnable fight to me for Regis Prograis. And then you got Isaac Cruz. You know, Pitbull. Pitbull is they're starting to put a tool. You notice now Pitbull is starting to use his jab a little bit more. That's good. I said this a while ago. I said, yo, if Pitbull get a jab, he's going to be a problem. And he's looking much better with that jab. Isaac Cruz's jab is looking, his jab is not much of a jab. His jab is pretty much a jab where it's it's being used to find his way inside. Before, when he didn't have a jab, he would just shell up, bob and weave, and try to get up inside you, but not use his jab to get in you. Now the jab is being incorporated, which is a very good thing because he has short arms, so his jab is not really. He can't do much with his jab, but use it as maybe a I wouldn't even say like a range finder. Maybe like I said, it's a jab to use to get inside, and you know, do work. That's it. But I see that fight. I can see that. Do I see him knocking out Regis? That one's no. I think Regis is still too crafty for Isaac Cruz. He would just have to watch out for that overhand right. I think Regis will dodge that right. I think Regis will win that by a decision win. Then last but not least, we got Keyshawn Davis, who supposedly be entering the 140 division. We haven't really heard much from Keyshawn Davis. He's recently came out, you know, telling people he's being a little apologetic for his actions during the fight. The De Los Santos fight that he ended up fighting, missing weight, got stripped, then ended up not stripped. He just missed weight. Then ended up getting into a light scuffle with Nahid Albright after Albright whooped on his brother. You know, so now there's a potential that Keyshawn Davis could be being blackballed right now. And he brought that on himself. But if they would ever fight, Keyshawn probably would stop Regis too. I think he would end up stopping Regis Prograis. So I would say, like I said, at this point, a lot of the top guys at 140, Regis has issues with them. Some of them stop him. Some of them outbox him to a win. And he potentially stops and beats Isaac Cruz and Frank Martin. Those are the only ones I could potentially see him beating. All the other guys, I think they beat Regis, and I think Regis' best times at the division is behind him. He's probably going to be, at this point, I hate to say that, but yeah, I think we can pretty much say soon enough, he's probably going to end up being the gatekeeper for 140. Just my take, man. But let me know what you think, man. It's Rebel Life Boxing, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.